In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create text, basically, and how to get the most out of your text. So I'm going to show you how to do titles firstly, and all I need to do for that is go to this T on the left hand side and click on it and draw a box, probably sort of like the width of the page, and inside it I'm going to type Dartmoor Hybrid Center. Now I've already got a font from before, and I've got a green colour. I'm just going to get rid of that. So it was already set as a default, and I had the font called Destroy. Let's go for something a little bit simpler. Oh, that looks quite cool actually. Dartmoor Hybrid Center. I've got loads of different fonts here to click on, and you can pretty much take your pick. Loads of fonts, loads of really web-friendly ones. I'll go for this one. Dartmoor Hybrid Center, and let's have a look at what it looks like black. So I'm just going to come off this for a second. Use a select. So there you go. That's the text as it stands. If I don't like the way it looks, I can click on the T firstly, and then click on any of the letters here. So I'll show you again. I don't like the way it looks, so I can move it around by going to the cursor. Don't like the way that looks, so I can go to T. Click on any letter when the cursor turns out the words align with the flicks on the end of it, and I can start editing the way the text looks. So we've got that at the moment. I want to resize it to make it a little bit bigger, as higher size as I can. Here we go, and it's black, so I'm going to go for green because it's a kind of zoo, so I was going to go for that kind of effect there. Obviously, you'd note that it's quite faded until you come into the white, but there are things I can do there to fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the layer where I've written Dartmoor Hybrid Center. You can see it's a text layer. Once I'm happy with the font and the colour, we can change it so that it stands out a little bit more, but I need to actually rasterize it. Once I've rasterized it, it means I can't edit the actual text anymore. Or can I? No, I can't. Right, so it's rasterizing something turns it completely into a raster image, which is just pixels. So you can't edit the letters anymore individually. That's why you need to do the text first, choose the font, choose the color, and then do the next thing we're going to do. So now I've rasterized this, I can go to the EFF at the bottom, and I can choose something called a stroke or an outer glow. You can even bevel and emboss it if you want to make it look like some sort of cheesy YouTube rappers channel. Let's have a look at bevel and emboss for a minute. So you can actually give it sort of a bevel, make it look sort of 3D, and you can play around with all these different options. Size. Look at that sort of 3D text. I hate it. It's horrible. But if you like it, go for it. I'm going to go for this thing called a stroke though. So we go to stroke, and we can add a line essentially around the outside of your text. I'm going to go for something like black as opposed to red. And all I've done is just outlined it. Click OK. So by clicking the layer and the EFF, and if you ever want to bring that back up, you just click this little triangle here, and it gives you what you've got. You go to effects. If you double click on it, brings up this whole menu again. There's loads of different things you can play around with here, loads of different settings and features, but I've just gone for the very simple stroke effect. And if I go to Control and plus to zoom in, use the funny hand, that's what I've got. So outlined, nice and straightforward. So as I said to you first, you need to create the text, play around with the font and colour that you want before you start adding things like a stroke, but it's pretty straightforward after that.